Hey everybody, welcome back to Are You Serious? Well, I was told that she was back, but I really hadn't seen anything, so I wasn't sure, but apparently she is. So this is Abedah, the Algerian. She's actually a Texan who's maybe stayed in Algeria for a little while, considers herself Algerian. The Algerian people have told her that her type of Islam really isn't practiced in Algeria. It's more of a Sufism, which is entirely different from what this lady preaches. But she did come into Gore World for a very short period of time to denounce Foodie Beauty and her husband, Salah, in all kinds of ways. And of course, a lot of people loved it, but, there's a little bit of cow behavior, okay? A little bit of cow behavior that I have observed. And some of which I had made a community tab post just saying, you know what? This type of Islam that is being preached by this woman, this is very extreme. It's known to be extreme. She responded very rudely, which is not how Muslims speak with each other, like at all. Very rude in her response, very abrupt, very just rude. And all of a sudden, she deleted all of her videos, deleted her entire channel, which deleted all of the comments she had made. Now, for me, okay, I do usually think a little bit before I speak or before I write something, but even if I do say something out of haste or write something in haste, I can go back and apologize or say, this isn't exactly what I meant, let me clarify it. It really says something about a person's character when they're not able to do that and they just delete everything. That is log cow behavior if I've ever seen it. Just pretend it didn't happen. If it's deleted, it didn't exist, right? Well, not quite. Not quite. Because, I like to archive things, okay? Let's just put it that way. So, she's back. She's under a new name like, I don't know, infidel police or something, whatever. Ma'am, you're not the police of anything. You should police yourself, maybe, I'm thinking. All right. So what I found, I was doing a little bit of research, because, okay, if you're going to come back now, don't think that we're not going to hold you to the same standard that we did before. So while researching Kristen, I came across, it was definitely a pattern of behavior, and the pattern was self-victimhood. She's a victim. She wants to be the victim. She thinks she is the victim. She's self-persecuting. Everyone's against her, and she's in need of conflict. She needs conflict, and she'll find it wherever she can. Not unlike a lot of lolcows, right? Like if there's no conflict, they're bored. Myself, I'm a little bit different, okay? But I found this video from April 2019, so that's almost 6 years ago, okay? And I think you'll find a lot of the same themes here.
Assalamu alaikum, brothers and sisters. Okay, so you guys love to trigger me. Like, you guys love to say things that you know is going to trigger me. And the thing is, like, a lot of you brothers and sisters tell me, or you leave comments and you're like, oh, all your videos are negative and you never say anything positive about Islam and blah, blah, blah. Those of you saying that obviously don't watch my full videos, because I do say positive things. I do wish everyone, to always be in the best health and happiness and a good state of iman and be on, a good way on the deen. And I'm always mentioning about good things that I see happening or things like that. But at the same time, like, a lot of reverts don't even take up for themselves. And definitely a lot of raised Muslims don't, when they're attacking us as reverts, or they're attacking other Muslims, the majority of Muslims and reverts don't even take up for each other or for themselves.
This is definitely an experience that is unique to Kristen. I have never witnessed Muslims attacking reverts. I've never witnessed this, like, ever. And she and I have been reverted for about the same amount of time. I've never witnessed that.
So I'm going to take up for myself And I'm also going to take up for other reverts, because someone has to do it. And if I get, 1,000 bad comments a day, or a video, if I get, half the world hating me, half the Muslims and the Ummah hating me, or hating my videos, or hating the way that I approach things, or the way that I talk, that's okay. That's a burden that I'm willing to bear, to educate other Muslims on what's acceptable and what's not acceptable.
Oh, okay. So she's a martyr. Okay. She's willing to martyr herself, but she is going to educate all the Muslims on what's acceptable. Okay. Great. Tell us, please.
Islam, to encourage people to not attack other Muslims when it's unwarranted, and to let non-revert Muslims know what it's like to be a revert, and there are some things that is crossing the line when you're interacting with us. Okay, so yesterday I posted, so everyone knows, on April 5th was my 7th year anniversary of being in Islam. Yesterday I posted my Shahada certificate, and I posted it with the good niyyah. I was happy. I was like, oh, alhamdulillah, like,
Niyyah is intention. She says she posted it with good intention.
I've been a Muslim 7 years, alhamdulillah, and it was like such a positive thing, right, for me to post that picture. I was looking for it for a long time, and all I got mostly was negative comments. Muslim brothers and sisters laughing, saying that I don't need it, or it's stupid, or why am I posting that, or why do I have that, or why did the Imam give that to me, and laughing and saying that it's useless and Muslims don't need that. It's their shahada is between them and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And even like one brother was writing like, oh, it's like giving a sticker to a small child just to make them feel like they're doing a good job. I mean, astaghfirullah, like that is so rude. And I don't care if I'm being aggressive or if I'm being upset. I'm a human. Clearly. And I have a right to be angry, and I have a right to take up for myself and say that this is not the way you treat your Muslim brothers and sisters, especially reverts. And Muslims are wondering why people are leaving Islam because of comments like that.
Oh, whoa. Okay. So if you're willing to give up your entire faith and religion because of people leaving comments that you don't like, maybe your faith isn't all that steady to begin with, or strong. So what she's referring to is, first, it's mostly for reverts, and I never received one because I am of the mind of the people who left her the comments, really, that it's not like an achievement like graduating from a program or getting a degree or a certificate or something. It's not an achievement. Anyone can become Muslim by simply saying the Shahada. So she probably did it in front of somebody who, maybe maybe an imam who has a lot of new shahadas in their ummah, in their community. And so they have these things made up. And like the guy said, and I don't think that it didn't come across probably the way that the man meant it, that it's like giving a kid a sticker. It literally means nothing. Like, oh, you got an A on your paper? Here's a sticker. What does the sticker actually mean? Nothing. You got the grade, right? So, and I mean, I agree with those people, but she's taking high offense to this, and I don't know why she would. And again, I find this kind of with Foodie Beauty as well. If you're not confident in your faith, you will take offense to a lot of odd things. Like maybe this piece of paper is really important to you. It sounds like it is. You went and looked for it. You posted it on your anniversary date. It means something to you. That's great. But, most people don't have a certificate of when they took their Shahada. It's not needed. And I think that's what they were telling her. But she's saying this is why people leave Islam, because of comments like that. So not only is it a little bit extreme of thought in the ways of thinking, but also the reaction. The reaction is extreme. Very interesting.
It's not going to make me leave Islam because I really don't care what anyone says. I have thousands of people saying thousands of bad things to me every single day. And I don't care because I don't make videos for them. They're not paying my...
Again, why are thousands of people saying negative things to you? This is not something that I've ever experienced in Islam, even, whether it's happening online to her. I've never experienced that online. I've never experienced it in real life. I mean, if anything, right, like some like maybe a little more judgmental sisters in the mosque might give you a little side eye if your hijab isn't perfect or, the way that they think it should be worn. But like, no one's getting attacked. This is overboard.
My bills, they're not helping me in my deen. I don't give a crap. I don't give an oyster, clam, or cockle what they have to say to me or about me. But I will say that it's comments like that are gonna make reverts, new Muslims, leave Islam. Imagine a new revert, a new Muslim in Islam post their Shahada certificate online, and people are like, oh, it's like giving a sticker to a small child to make them feel like they did a good job. Astaghfirullah, subhanallah. That is the dumbest, rudest, biggest insult that I've heard of recently.
Okay.
Why do you do it? If you can't say something nice, don't say anything at all. Do you have no fear from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Do you think that you will not go on the day of judgment and that Allah will not ask you, hey, this sister or this brother left Islam because you demean them, because you...
What is this on her hand? Yeah, this, again, a very extreme response. If someone chooses to leave their religion because of a comment, even if it was meant in a rude way, because of a comment on an internet post, on social media, their faith wasn't strong to begin with. If it's that shakeable. And... Kristen, just to remind you, we are all going to face God and answer for everything that we have done in this lifetime. If someone is that shaky in their faith that they can't take an online comment, I don't think that God is going to go to that person that left the comment and say, you're the one responsible for turning this person away from me. No, I don't think so. Very extreme.
You insulted their pride of being a Muslim, a new Muslim. You insulted them. And you will say, no, I didn't. Like, how? I never would do that. I'm a good Muslim, alhamdulillah. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will remind you about the time you left a comment on a new Muslim's post because they were excited about Islam, so they posted that they got, a certificate for their Shahada. And you said, oh, it's like giving a sticker to a little kid to make them feel like they did a good job. Astaghfirullah. This is the Islam that you were raised on? Your parents raised you to be this kind of Muslim? To treat new Muslims like that? To treat reverts, to treat other Muslims that way? Astaghfirullah. You should be ashamed of yourself. And believe me, they were blocked and banned from this page. The whole group of them, because there was a whole group laughing about my post. A whole group of them. Muslims. Subhanallah, Muslims. So let me tell you, I posted that picture yesterday with a good intention, a good niyyah. And it's something that's special to me because that's when I took Shahada 7 years ago. It's something special. And like I said, the majority of the comments were so negative, saying, oh, ha ha ha, you don't need that, throw it away. Your Shahada is between you and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And all these people saying bad things and negative things about it don't even live in America. They don't even live in the West. They're from Muslim countries. And so don't talk about things that you don't understand. For example, a Shahada certificate in America, in the United States, is for a reason. Some jobs, like in Islamic schools, like private schools, to be a teacher or a principal or anything to work in Islamic school, they want to know you're a Muslim. And just walking up and saying I'm Muslim doesn't work for them. You have to have...
Hey, I don't work at an Islamic school in the States. I did in Egypt. I was not Muslim. They knew I was Christian at the time. I'm a sister. I'm a sister of the book. the Abrahamic religion. So there was no problem with me working there. So if she's saying that you need to have some kind of credential as being Muslim to apply for certain jobs, that doesn't, this really, I'm not going to say she's making it up or she's lying, because she may have had some kind of experience that leads her to think this way. But it's kind of the same as her calling out Chantal and Salah for not being Muslims, when it is a very standard belief for Muslims, mainstream Muslims, that we are unable to tell if someone is a Muslim or not, because it truly is between them and God, like truly. And someone can be a Muslim and non-practicing. Someone can kind of do half and half, but it really isn't for us to say how much of a Muslim they are or if they're not at all. So if she's talking about some kind of school or employer who is doubting if she's Muslim, that's really more like along the lines of how she thinks. I don't know. I've never been asked for a Shahada certificate. I wouldn't be able to produce one. It's, again, I think it's about the strength of your faith. If someone doubted that I'm Muslim, it's really not my problem. Go ahead. It's fine if you don't think I am. How does that affect me? It doesn't.
I have a certificate from a sheikh or imam at a mosque in that city. If you want to go to some of the schools, the Islamic schools here, they want to know you're a Muslim. And some of them, the private schools, they ask for you to have a certificate. If there's certain scholarships you want, for example, if you want a scholarship to go to if you want a scholarship from an Islamic organization, and you want them to give you money to go to a certain Islamic school, or to send your kids to Islamic school, or maybe if you're asking a masjid for money, for sadaqah, for zakat, and you need money, they ask you, some mosques ask you for your certificate of Shahada.
Oh.
Because...
Okay. So she's gone to mosques asking for welfare, asking for like food, like a food pantry. And they have asked her for a certificate of her Shahada. That is a whole other thing. Whole other thing. If you are in need of, she's saying a lot here, and I don't even think she realizes what she's saying. If you are in need of assistance, right? And how churches have food pantries, mosques may have something set up for, social services for the community. And if someone is taking advantage of those, and maybe there's some suspicion about it, to actually ask someone for a certificate of their Shahada, if that has happened to her,
they want to know that you're a Muslim, that you're not just saying that you're a Muslim to get help or to get, in this job or to do that or this. There's a lot of documentaries, but there's one documentary online in particular about a group of Romanian gypsies in the UK and other parts of Europe that go and they wear hijab. They're not Muslim. They're Catholic or Christian or something. They wear hijab and they go out in front of the mosques and they wait on the Jummah, on the Friday, and they beg for money and they say that their kids are sick and they're Muslims and to try to get the Muslims at the mosque to feel sorry for them and give them money. And they're scamming them. They're lying about being a Muslim to get benefits and to scam the Muslim community. And the same goes here in the United States. You see women in abaya and niqab walking around parking lots saying that they're homeless and asking for zakat, asking for sadaqah, for charity, and then they get caught driving off in a BMW or living in a...
Okay, Kristen, I know you're from the U.S., so you know that this happens anyway. There are people who hold cardboard signs on the median strips of busy roads saying that they'll work for food, or that I have 6 kids, 1 on the way, and, anything helps, God bless you. Scammers are going to scam, whether they pretend to be Muslim or, they're just very upfront. Like, hey, do you have a couple bucks so I can, buy something to relieve my suffering today? That's life.
$5 two-bedroom house. They're scammers and they're not even Muslim. So many schools, Islamic schools here, okay, many Islamic institutions or organizations want you to have a certificate of Shahada that you're a Muslim. A lot of programs, for example, if there's a woman and she's a revert, or even, especially for reverts, it's important for us to have the certificate, because they see us, they see that we're white, they see that we're American, they know maybe that we weren't born or that we weren't raised Muslim, right? So they want to see that someone has witnessed us taking Shahada or making that commitment to Islam.
I've never once experienced this in my entire life. Like, never once. This is just... It sounds like she, her anniversary came up of her Shahada, right? I don't even remember the exact day. I remember it was like September-ish 2012. Her Shahada was April 2012. So she's got that on me. But, yeah, I never once have I been asked that. And I mean, if someone isn't sure, if you just said the Shahada in front of them, right? If you just said La ilaha illallah Muhammad Rasulullah, like, I'm Muslim. That makes me Muslim. That's the Shahada. So you could just say that. I mean, are people really checking credentials like that? I don't know. If this happened to her, I feel like they were trying to discourage her from something. I don't know. Weird. My point was that I think that she got butthurt that she posted this certificate. She wanted her, oh, congratulations, welcome to Islam, that kind of thing. And she didn't get it. Like, people said to her, basically, like, Islam is not a piece of paper. Islam is not, like, this achievement that you did, that you made. Islam is in your heart, and it's a relationship between you and God. So you can say, yeah, it's my anniversary. You can post anything you want. But where she does speak very forcefully, people might have just been saying, like, maybe other reverts were like, oh, I didn't get a certificate. And they're telling them, like, hey, this usually doesn't even happen. So she happens to have one and she's proud of it. That's fine. Okay. Like, I have documentation of things that I've done. The documentation itself means nothing to me. It's what I've actually accomplished that means something. But that's not the case for everybody. But I think that she was expecting some kind of props, didn't get them. Now she needs to justify her anger, why that makes her so angry, and why she's all worked up. Because now I feel like she's making up this, like, I've been asked for documentation at the border. Like, papers, please. I want to see your Shahada certificate. And she's saying it has to be from an imam at a mosque in that city? Like, what? Come on. I don't think that ever happened. I don't. I think she's trying to justify why that made her so angry.
And for example, there's some reverts who don't have, like myself, we don't have a father, and we don't have a husband, and we don't have a brother, and we don't have an uncle. We don't have anybody to act as our mahram. So we cannot go to do Umrah or Hajj, right? Because the women need the mahram for that. But there's a group of elderly women, or women in this, they're mostly elderly women, but a group of the women in these same situations that don't have a mahram, and they're able to go to Hajj. Well, guess what? To even be accepted or considered to be in that group to go to Hajj, to make Hajj, if you're from America or you're from like a Western country, from like a non-Muslim family, you have to have a certificate of Shahada to go to Hajj. And what's funny is that all these brothers and sisters that are laughing and insulting me about my certificate of Shahada, basically demeaning me and other reverts and trying to lower our statuses and trying to make us feel stupid or embarrassed.
Oh, okay.
Or shameful.
Right.
First of all, you've probably never even been to America, so you're just talking about things you don't have any idea about. Second of all, you're all raised Muslim in a Muslim country with a Muslim family. So you don't have any idea about what it means to be a revert, what it means to be an American Muslim. The struggles that we have and the things that we have to do. And one of those things, yes, a certificate of Shahada is not obligatory. It's not fard in Islam. It's not something that
Fard means required. It's not mandatory.
all Muslim reverts must have in order to be a Muslim. That's right. But as a revert, American revert, American Muslim living in a Western non-Islamic country, having one does benefit us in many ways, but is also required for many different things that we might want to do or that we might want to be a part of. Like the things I mentioned before, the Hajj groups, okay, going to Hajj, certain programs, Islamic programs, employment, or being a student within certain Islamic organizations or schools, okay? So if you think for 1 second that coming on here and insulting me and other reverts is going to be like something you're going to ever do more than once, you're absolutely wrong, because you're blocked and banned and your messages are deleted. Because other reverts don't need, other new Muslims don't need to read your garbage and then leave Islam because of it. And I hope Allah punish you for that.
Okay. So, okay. I mean, you know, as I'll remind Kristen again, we are all going to answer for our deeds on this earth. All of us. We don't have to hope that someone will have to, or that, you know, that they will pay or they'll receive their due recompense. No, it will happen. It's going to happen to you and it's going to happen to me. You don't have to hope for it.
And second of all, if you think that it hurts my feelings, that you're laughing at me or insulting me, you've got another thing coming to you, and you're...
I would say your feelings are pretty hurt, ma'am. They seem pretty hurt.
more stupid than I thought you were in the first place. How much you laugh at me or my videos or what I post, how much you laugh at me, how bad you talk to me, how much you insult me. I don't care. I don't care. I make a video about it to call you out and to help other reverts who might be getting insulted by their Muslim brothers and sisters. But personally, I don't care. When I turn off this phone, this video, I go live my life. I do my, I go about my daily activities. I sit with my friends, I sit with my mother, I do my stuff in the home, I do my stuff outside the home, and it doesn't come in my mind again. But no, not enough people are making awareness about these issues, so I will do it.
The issues.
And reverts are not...
I think the Ummah, our community, has bigger issues than this, Kristen.
...ability for that. Because it's important to me to take up for my brothers and sisters in Islam, especially the reverts, the new Muslims. So don't waste your time to insult me on my videos or my page. Don't waste your time, don't waste my time. Because in 1 second, I have admins on here every minute of the day in different parts of the world checking comments. And as soon as be careful about insulting reverts, because if there's a new Muslim in Islam and they don't have that strong iman yet, if they're not all the way on their deen yet because they're a new Muslim and their faith is just starting to build up, and you insult them or you laugh at them because they make a post that you think is stupid and they leave Islam, you will be punished for that.
Okay. I know that rage is really it's very inviting to a lot of people in our current state of society. People are drawn to rage for some reason. I find it exhausting personally, especially when someone starts repeating themselves. If you're passionate about a topic and you go off on it and then leave it and then move on to something else, that's fine. But we're on 26 minutes and she's been repeating herself. So we'll see if we'll go ahead a little bit, see if she ever talks about something else. So
if you're wondering why there is such a thing as a certificate of Shahada, now you know. Now you know it's used for Westerners, for reverts, for American Muslims. Because sometimes people doubt our sincerity of being a Muslim.
Like you doubt Chantal and Salah of being Muslim. You should request You should request Salah's certificate of shahada. He can't. They both can't produce a certificate of marriage, but maybe they'll find a certificate of shahada for you.
No.
To prove it.
For example, I've heard many stories about American women trying to make Hajj, American Muslim women trying to make Hajj. But the people didn't believe that she or he, even, it happens to revert brothers as well, that they're not really a Muslim, that they're trying to get into Mecca to do something bad. They're trying to get into Mecca to take video or pictures or to do something bad to Islam. You know? Mm-hmm. So.
Okay. And that's certainly a valid concern. And I would say, what is to stop a terrorist, a domestic terrorist, from going to their local mosque and saying the Shahada and getting their certificate? If they're willing to do something horrible against Mecca, what's to stop them from doing that? Like,
I actually know a sister. She's from here. She's from Minnesota, which is a state. And she and her husband went to go, she's a revert, and they went to go make Hajj. And when she went to make Hajj, they saw that her husband's name was like a Muslim name, right? Like his name was Muhammad something, right? And they saw her name, Ashley, whatever. And they knew that, okay, this is not a Muslim name, and she's obviously American. And they told her, like, no, only Muslims are allowed, like, to make Hajj. Like, your wife can't go. And he's like, but my wife's Muslim. They're like, where's the proof? Like, you're just saying that because she's your wife and you want her to come with you. Like, she could be Christian, but Christians are not allowed to come make Hajj. So what did she do? She came back to the US. She went to the masjid, to the mosque where she took her shahada. She asked the imam, the sheikh, she asked him, hey, remember when you gave me shahada last year? He said, yeah, of course. She said, can you give me a certificate or something that I can have to show people that I'm really a Muslim, that I really came and took shahada, that I'm at Jummah every Friday? Can you, like, do that for me? And she went to Hajj.
Highly unlikely. Highly unlikely. So she didn't change her name to Abedah or Miriam, and they doubted that she was Muslim. If that was the case, I think that they would take her into a mosque and give her the Shahada. She would state the Shahada at the mosque in Saudi Arabia. Why would she have to fly back to Minnesota and go to the mosque in Minnesota? Like, what? I don't believe that happened. I don't.
So don't look at someone's post or picture, or don't start talking.
And again, I feel like this is all just justifying why she's so angry about people leaving comments like your piece of paper means nothing. Because she's like, oh yeah, well, here's how it means something to somebody somewhere. Because she felt like belittled by people saying that. That's your own insecurity, Kristen. It really is. That wouldn't have bothered me.
Seems weird to you. And don't think that you bother me, because I laugh at you with my friends after I turn the video off. Mm-hmm. I laugh at your stupidity and like how you were raised, how it's so shameful.
Mm. You don't seem like a very happy, laughing type of person to me.
It's just, but alhamdulillah, because Ramadan will be in May, inshallah. And May is very nice month, not just because it's the month of my birthday, but it's a nice month. You know, sometimes, so I have the weather app and it gives me the weather for different cities around the world, like cities that I have a lot of friends in, or cities that I used to live in or visit a lot. And Cairo is one of them that I have in my phone.
Oh, really?
And there's so many days that...
Have you been to Cairo, Kristen? Have you lived in Cairo before? Oh, we should talk about that. Really?
This is hotter than Cairo. And Cairo is in Egypt, in the desert, like literally.
Indeed. Yeah.
Like in Africa.
Yeah.
And there's so many weeks in the summer especially that Texas is even hotter than it gets in Cairo. So, subhanallah. But I hope everyone's excited and getting prepared for Ramadan, inshallah. And I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to cooking because I don't know how to cook that well, to be honest, and it actually tastes really good, alhamdulillah. So anyway, I'm looking forward to that and being able to cook for once for Ramadan. So anyway, hope you guys
Okay, so it looks like she's arrived at her destination, so the rant is over. So she just used her commute to wherever and used her time to rant. So, okay.
Here's the funny thing, but not shocking thing. When I try to support Islam and remind people of the Islamic values and principles, I get attacked.
So this one is from August 4th, 2024. Okay. So she has written, Algerians want to attack me because I'm telling the truth. It's always an attack. In 2019, it was an attack. This is an attack.